What's up, Phil?
Blood pressure.
Is it really? That's how old you are?
No, but when we started talking about this episode, our blood pressure was going up because we were ranting at each other.
We've been waiting for this for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, kind of calmed down.
No, maybe you have,
still fired up.
But but I'll be honest with you, I'm actually a little nervous to talk about this. And here's why. I've been very, I don't say quiet because I'm not quiet.
Cautious.
I've been very cautious in the industry that I'm in about what I say, and I don't make any political waves. I don't make any COVID waves. I don't really say my true.
We're going to be flagged now because you said
true opinions on things. But I feel like this needs to be said, and if we need to talk about it and really get to the bottom of it, and if we lose a couple of people along the way, maybe they just weren't open-minded, huh?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole pandemic was very divisive and still is.
Yeah.
So I think what started us down this path was that study or news coming out that it was recommended surgery and drugs at a young age for overweight kids. Like childhood obesity is a huge, no pun intended, problem in this country.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, I think it was the American Association of Pediatrics or whatever, comes out with, we should do surgery and we should do, intervention with drugs at an early age. Like, now, how about go outside and climb a fucking tree?
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? But then, listen, having kids, it's a crazy world out there. To let your kids go outside is kind of dangerous.
That's
Begin from a parent, okay? But
you should go outside with them.
I do. We do. We play.
What you have to do.
I don't know if you read the article when I was on the cover of the magazine you started.
I didn't. Okay, I didn't start the magazine. However, yes, we were the featured family on the.
But
what's it called? Harahan.
You don't even know what the magazine was?
Well, what's the name of it? Like the Harahan.
The Neighbors of Harahan.
Harahan Neighborhood or Neighbors of Harahan.
Yeah, I don't know. That's great. We know the magazine we were both on.
We should probably edit this out.
We should. But in there we talked. Avery's favorite thing to do is go outside and ride her bike with the neighbors. So we do. We get outside. But you're getting passionate about the childhood obesity and early intervention. And when you brought it up to me, I'm fired up because I believe that it starts with the adults. And here's why. I've seen it this past January. Everybody's getting on this shot.
Yeah.
The weight loss shot, which it's really a diabetic shot.
Yeah, you were talking about the shot. I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, well, let me tell you. Let me brief you.
Okay.
There's a shot that helps with insulin resistance with diabetic people, and it does have a side effect for weight loss because it curbs your appetite and you don't eat anything, right?
Yeah.
So now, and you were talking about this before, Big Pharma is just popping these to everybody. Like everybody, left and right. Oh, you're overweight? Here, this will help you.
Yeah.
In the meantime, what people aren't realizing is that it's going to really mess up your endocrine system if you don't have any insulin problems.
Yeah.
Like what you're telling your body is, don't produce this. You're masking what you normally do. And what really, really just burns me up, Phil, it gets me so fired up, is that the people that are taking this shot, not all of them, I don't want to hear in my DMs, but the majority of people were the ones that were so anti-COVID shot.
Yeah,
because
they're going to jump on this one.
Oh, wait, I don't know what's in the COVID shot, so I can't take that. And all this research now about the inflamed heart and the this and the that. Oh, it's too much. Oh, but let me go get on this shot that I don't need because you can't do I'm fired up because you can't do the discipline.
Yeah.
And I think it's
the healthy habits.
Exactly. And I think this is me coming off of 75 hard, and it's happening at the same time because you know what? That was hard.
Yeah.
But guess what? I saw great results. But guess what I did? I ate right. I exercised. I fueled my mind. I drank the water. I did all the things that is hard.
Yeah.
That gave me the results that I was looking for. And you're going to go over there and just take a shot.
Yeah. we've talked about this before. You got to choose your heart. What's
But what
being fat is hard.
Yeah.
Doing healthy things so that you're not fat is hard.
So then here's my next rant that I go on. And we probably lost all of our, like this girl here. But listen.
It's not like we get paid for this.
No, we don't. What are we teaching the kids? That's where my thing is. What are we teaching these kids that it's okay to go take the shot, to hurry up and finish? Like it starts with the adult.
Well, so are you leading by example? Or are you actually setting boundaries and holding your kid accountable by not having so many of those unhealthy snacks? Because you can have, of course, you're going to give kids snacks. I mean,
right.
I'm not condoning they got to eat bran all the time, but you know what I mean? I mean, you got to have those.
Yeah, we're going to get a donut after this.
I love me a donut.
Not you.
But so as the parent, now I'm, running and stuff. And there's I know a lot of really fit, really healthy, whether they're triathletes or runners or cyclists. And then their kids are overweight. It's like, well, they don't want to eat that. Well, they don't really have a choice, do they?
I don't know. Back in the day when did you ever, my mom always.
I did not have a choice.
It's so funny because I'll feed Avery.
But even my kids, it's like, no, this is what's for dinner.
Yeah. Well, I'll be like, Avery, do you want this or that? And my mom gets all fired up. She's like, she's 3. She's going to eat what you put in front of her. And I'm like, well, no. So I guess I'm guilty
you're
of that.
part of the problem. Yeah.
I am part of the problem.
Yeah. Like we always, we always have let's say cookies in the house, but the boys could have 3.
Right. You limit. Yeah.
It was 3. And they were like, what, Mom? Because it was always mom and dad's eating 5 or 6. I'm like, well, I paid a mortgage.
Yeah. So
I bought the damn Chips Ahoy.
Oh, you became that dad? Oh, come on.
Became that dad. Yeah. And Christina says, when I let you, you can only have 3 too. I'm like, ain't big enough to stop. But so you can have those treats, but it's a treat. It's not a lifestyle. And
my motto this year, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
That's more than one word.
Okay. But it's a motto and not a one word.
We're different.
Different.
Okay.
Consistency. In case you forgot, that was your word. So when we don't limit ourselves to the unhealthy habits or the cookies and it spirals out of control, we do that in other areas of our life.
Yeah,
if you want to fix one part of your life, take a look at how you approach everything. I really and that's with yourself, holding yourself accountable. That will bleed into your kids. Now, I will tell you this. When I did 75 Hard, my beautiful 3-year-old, Avery Mare, oh, Mom, you're exercising again? You already did that today. And in that moment, I had a choice. Because I could be like, oh, yes. Like back in the 80s, probably, they would be like, oh, yes. I don't know. They'd be like, yeah, I'm working out because I got to fit my dress, or I got to do this, or I got, it was an unhealthy reason, right? I got to lose 5 pounds. I got to do this. So in that moment, I had a choice how I was going to tackle this with this 3-year-old of that mommy's making herself better. Yeah. That this is mommy's doing it to make her body feel better, her mind better. And I even talked about this with my therapist because after 75 Hard, I became that girl that talks about 75 Hard. And I promised I wasn't going to do it. But it changed my life, like you said it would. And afterwards, I still work out every single day for 45 minutes. I don't do 2, I do 1. Yeah. But that's important to me. And I find on the days that I don't, my mindset is off. So I need to let Avery know that, hey, I'm working out because it makes mommy's not going to yell at you as much if my mental health's good. Right.
So that's setting the example.
Right.
And but you also have to have boundaries and hold them accountable too. No, this, like we used to have to, tell the boys, no, you gotta go outside and play. Well, it's a different age now because when Jude's growing up, 8 and 10 years later, there weren't the kids in the neighborhood to go play with. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He didn't, so.
Well, it's all about getting off the iPads too. And listen, I'm guilty of this. Avery's got an iPad, whatever. But I make sure when I see that it's getting to be too much.
Yeah, we limit that. And it's a battle.
You got to.
And it's a battle.
And after the iPads, it's the
cell phone,
it's the cell phones and the video games,
the late nights and all this. Yeah, we still, he's 14, almost 15 years old, and it's a battle.
Yeah.
Like, none of my friends' parents restrict my social media. And we're like, they're idiots. You know? Christina doesn't say that. She's very respectful. I'm like, well, your friends' parents are dumb. Give them my number. But
tell them to call the other Phil degree.
Yeah, tell them to call the other Phil degree. But you know, people are too quick to jump on the quick fix. So like so I've just recently failed 75 hard on day 61.
I was wondering if you were going to say that or not.
On day 61 because
you didn't want to be one ahead of me.
Ended up in the ER because I had like a scare, like a
You're
2
okay
week,
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The cancer was ruled out. But for 12 days, over a 12-day period, I had 3 really severe, like I had bouts, I guess, what you call it, of this like really severe abdominal pain that lasted for hours. And then I ended up just throwing up. And so the first time it happened, you know, I kind of rule out food poisoning and, you know, like, oh, maybe it's a bug. And then I rule that out. And then it happens again a few days later. Go to my oncologist because I'm having PTSD now, and immediately go to my oncologist, which is totally different than I did 7 years ago when I just dealt with it for 5 months. But so we started a process, you know, of kind of eliminating what it might be. And she goes, if it happens again, go to the ER, tell them I sent you, and you need an X-ray done. Like, we want to see what's happening while it's happening. A few days later, happens again. We go to the ER, they admit me. They immediately rule out cancer, so that's good. But I'm thinking, like, in those 12 days, like, okay, well, if it's cancer, if this is what I'm going to do, like, I'm not going through treatment. I'm not taking drugs. I'm going to go full on, you know, instead of 80 to 90% a Mediterranean diet, I'm going 100% veggie diet. Like, I'm not, but a lot of people aren't like that. They're like, well, give me the shot, give me the drugs, you know, you buy into the pharmaceutical commercial that, oh, this is what's going to cure you. And no, we got to at least pump the brakes and kind of get more information and do some research on whatever it is that, you know, whether it's, you know, you're overweight or you have high blood pressure or you've got, you know, a cancer diagnosis or whatever. The first thing you do is not plug into what the pharmaceuticals are telling you.
Yeah. And
it just seems like they run the damn world.
They do. I actually ran into a new client the other day was talking to me and she's like, oh, I'm having these chest pains. Love it when the client comes and like, by the way, I'm having chest pains. Sign me up to get on this bandwagon. No, but she's having chest pains and she went to see a cardiologist and they immediately want to do the angiogram, and they're going to put in a stent. And I was like, okay, well, what did you eat? What have you been eating? What's your day look like? And she starts revealing to me that she drinks like 4 cups of coffee. She's stressed to the max. Like, okay, but we're going to do, and listen, I worked in cardiac rehab for 3 years. I know the severity of this, but like, could it not just be you're drinking too much caffeine? I mean, I don't know. Like, you're having chest pains because you're stressed out. Yeah. I mean, could we like back up the brakes? You're already telling this girl that she's going to come to get the angiogram and she's automatically going to get a stent. Yeah. And you haven't even seen anything yet. Like, I get you got to prepare people for the worst. I get that. But like, they didn't even take, and listen, I wasn't in the room. I don't know. And I'm sure there's doctors out there that are frustrated just like we are.
Oh, shit. Here's Dr. Phil giving some advice.
But I'm sure that like they are just as frustrated as we are, because in any profession, especially like mine or the doctors, like you have good and you have bad. You have people that sit down and want to fix the problem. And then you have people that want to sit down and mask the problem with shots, medicine, and all of that. And it's frustrating.
Well, they don't promote a healthy lifestyle.
No.
They just don't.
No.
And that the medical profession, I don't feel like does, you know, the message coming out.
Even the health industry doesn't. Like, think about it. Here's this pill that can block your leptin receptors that's going to help you lose the weight. Okay, what about if you just eat right?
How about you sweat and eat better?
Yeah. And I think that, like, I guess I get frustrated and fueled up by this because I know it takes hard work. But, like, I think that's the problem with the world today is that, and here I am, the curmudgeon. I'm getting there. I'm going over the 40.
Yeets. Yeah.
But I think that's what's wrong with the world. We're not putting in hard work, dedicating the time to ourselves to get the work done, to get the results that we're doing. And it starts with our health and wellness.
hmm
And if you don't start there, then everything else trickles in your
Yeah.
life.
If you ain't taking care of yourself, you're not going to take care of somebody else.
No.
Yeah.
It's just like putting the oxygen mask on.
First.
Yes.
And
you
then,
put it
and then on
first,
your kid.
and then on
You
your
let them
kid.
start to turn a little blue so that they know who's in charge.
Oh, God. Bill, you would have, you know what I would have loved if you would have had a girl? I think you'd be a complete, here's a girl talk. I think you'd be a completely different person.
You think?
Uh-huh. Girls change you. Woo.
Listen,
They
I am.
change you.
No.
Oh, that's
I'll
it.
lovey-dovey with
so-
my boys too.
I'm not saying that you're not lovey-dovey. I think that you would just be a little bit more,
A little softer.
I don't know, because like
'Cause
Avery
my wife's
and
not
Addison are
soft.
not soft.
My wife's not soft.
Yeah.
She's a hard ass.
All right. So let's give some tangible tips out there for people who, let's start with the adult who's struggling with weight loss and they're
Drink more water.
but wait, they're about to go
move
into their
more.
doctor's office and they've tried it all, they think. They've tried everything and nothing's working. So they're about to go in their doctor's office. What can they do in the next 5 days that could maybe flip their mind on things?
Drink more water.
Yep.
Get up early and work out
Yep.
and just eat better.
Yeah.
Like it cracks me up when somebody's telling me they're like, oh, I'm getting in shape as they're drinking a Coke. Oh, well, it's a Diet Coke. Like, dude, get out of here. You know?
So what does eating better look like? What does cleaning up your diet
think-
look like?
You know,
Mr.
you're-
Health Professional, please tell me.
Yeah, really. Right. I mean, if your plate is 2/3 colored vegetables, that's a great start. You know, if it's not processed, if it's not out of a box, that's a great start.
Mhm.
You know, smaller portion. You know, you just the size of your hand. Like I don't measure all my food and all that, but I kind of think, well, that's a handful.
Mhm.
You know. Oh, well, I'm eating berries. Well, I'm going to put in 2 handfuls,
Mm.
you know? Yeah. And you just eat more natural stuff as much as you can. And that's expensive. Like, why is organic food more expensive?
Than
The
processed.
standard American diet is awful.
Awful.
It just sucks.
Mhm.
It really does. And I just think it kind of promotes fat people,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy. You know, you can just pour this out of a box and throw it in your microwave. But it's like, bless it.
It's like they don't want us to be healthy.
It's like they don't want you to be healthy, you know? And that's, yeah.
So what if we as a community changed the script and became healthy, cut the insurance? Like we're
Yeah.
the problem.
We're the problem.
We are the problem
Yeah.
because we're buying into their bullshit.
Yeah. My oncologist has never treated me for cancer. She's been my oncologist for 5.5 years,
Mhm.
and she's never treated me for cancer. Because I'm fortunate, right? I haven't had cancer since it, but I tell you what, she is dead serious about keeping me healthy and making sure. When I called her and said, listen, this is what I'm going through. This is what's happened. It's happened twice in 4 days. She said, when can you be here? And I'm like, well, it's a doctor's, right? You're like, okay, well, when can you see me? And she goes, no, you tell me. So I can be here at 1:00 tomorrow. She said, okay. She canceled someone else's appointment and got me in there.
Well, let's hope that's the person not listening.
Sorry if you're the one listening. But she was like, no, you're like, this is not normal.
Mhm.
And I know how much you focus on your health.
Mhm.
So we're gonna attack this right away.
But that's awesome because she met you where you're at. If you
Yep.
were somebody who wasn't taking care of yourself, who wasn't passionate about fueling with good, like you're probably her biggest success story,
yeah.
most likely.
Yep.
And she takes pride in that because you didn't go the regular farmer route, but
Yeah.
because you've met her where you're at, y'all met each other and you're working. I think she's willing to go bat to bat with you.
Mhm.
You know, that's just like any client that I work with. Like, if you're not going to show up and do the work, then
Yeah.
I can't help you. Like, I can give you all the tips, you could go, there's a thing called Google.
The Google.
You can go Google that shit. You don't need me. I'm there for the accountability. But
Yeah.
like, if you're not going to show up, then I can't help you.
Stop bugging me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't say that, Phil, because I mean,
Well, you can, but no, I get it. You know, it's like,
well, and that's just like that is the same thing as a pill or a shot or anything else. If you don't show up and do the work, those things aren't gonna. You know, there was there's articles coming out about this shot left and right. One of them is saying, "Oh, I ever since the shot, I feel like I've aged." Well, yeah. Like your body's not doing something natural. You
Yeah.
put something unnatural in your body to stop things.
the body's just amazing.
Or the best part, and one of the articles I read was, oh, I'm just feeling so tired. And you know what it's really helped me do? It's really helped cut the cravings. And I'm not even hungry or thinking about food anymore.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bigger problem there if you were constantly thinking about food and have an addiction like with food, because that's a thing.
Yep.
And if you're not getting to the root of the problem, then once you get off this shot, guess what's going to come back tenfold? I mean, just like when people got the weight loss surgery, you see them now bigger than they were before.
Yeah.
That's going to happen with the shot, everybody.
Not everybody. You got people like Tiffany, who's now a fitness instructor.
Oh, Tiffany. Yeah.
She's a badass.
But
works hard at it.
Let's go back on Tiffany and why she's amazing at what she's doing is because she's putting in the work.
Yeah.
She's exercising.
She's a badass.
She's a 1 in a million that did the sleeve or did the weight loss surgery, but she's still putting in the work.
Yep.
And that goes back to like, listen, I'm not saying that you don't have to do these things to help give you a jump start. What I'm saying is that can't be the end all be all.
No,
Also, what I'm saying is if you don't have the excess weight to lose, like you're trying to get those last 5, 10, and you're not morbidly obese, get off the shot and do something about it. Your people cannot get the shot because they're diabetic who actually needs it.
Yeah.
They cannot get it because you want to lose your 5 pounds.
Yeah.
That's I can't wrap my head around this right now.
So like 20
I'm
years
not passionate about this at all.
I know. So like 20 years ago, I get a new primary care physician and I still see him now. And I hadn't had a primary care physician in 10 years. Like since I got out of the Army, right?
Right.
So I'm like mid-30s. I go see this guy, get recommended to him because I'm stressed and I'm, just and I could lose about 15 pounds and I'm really stressed all the time and my blood pressure was high. And I'm like, I just need you to prescribe me some Adderall or whatever. And he's like, well, why? And I'm like, well, I think I have ADHD because a friend of mine said,
right.
Oh, well, I take Adderall and I don't eat lunch anymore. And blah, blah.
That was
and he's like, everyone's got ADHD. He's like, who cares? He's like, no, I'm not prescribing that for you. And he did put me on blood pressure medication, but he said, I want you off of it in 6 months.
Wow.
And so you got to start exercising again. And I was in one of those ruts, you got to start exercising again. He goes, how much coffee do you drink? And at the time, like I was drinking a ton of coffee.
Yeah.
And he's like, 48 ounces of coffee a day. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm estimating,
Yeah.
You better cut that out. I was drinking Red Bulls and I would go from coffee to Red Bull. And he was like, dumbass.
Yeah.
Cut all that shit out. So I did. I mean, I drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, sometimes 1, but usually about 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink any coffee after like 10:30 or so in the morning. And I don't drink energy drinks. And I was off of that statin in like 6 months. You know?
And that's the thing, going back to Big Pharma and the medical, when I worked there, like when they put you on blood pressure medicine and stuff, a lot of doctors don't want you to get off because that's what fixed the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he was like, you got to do different things.
Yeah.
And I did. And I love him, And
well, why not when they go to the doctor, why not instead of quickly, and again, there's doctors out there, I know, but like, why not say that? Like, why not say, hey, we're going to get you off in 6 months. You don't need to be in here, And when people come and they say that the eating is expensive or my programs are expensive or whatever, and this is what I tell them, you're either going to pay for it now and live a good quality life, or you're going to pay for it in medical bills and prescriptions and all those things, living an awful quality life. So you choose your hard.
Yeah,
that's
choose
enough.
your hard.
Choose your hard. Back to it,
Yep.
So, I mean, and I know you started it with the kids, and I do think we have a problem with the childhood obesity, and I feel like it keeps coming back and it goes down and it comes back. We do something about it, and then but why can't we just do something about it and stay the status quo? You know, they did all these incentives in cafeterias, and the NFL did the Play 60 with the kids, and like I get we're doing all these things, but it starts with us as the adults and really putting in the work and being the example.
Yeah, you have to live by example, but you have to set some boundaries for your kids.
Can't have ice cream every night.
And if you do, you can only have 2 scoops, not 3 or 4.
Yeah, and not every night.
Not every night. And
I have a client here, and I respect her a lot because she started talking to me about how her kids do not drink any sodas, and they don't have candy, and the father-in-law or the mother-in-law was mad about that, and like they couldn't understand or respect that, and she's like, well, that's just how I want to raise my kids, so either respect that or they're not going over there. You know,
it's hard. You know, I mean, raising kids is hard, and they fight back and they push back, and I mean, I just don't. I mean, we could go into other unhealthy things they did. You know, like that letting them drink before they're of age to drink,
and that's in the New Orleans area a lot.
It's everywhere. And it's like we always had a rule, like nope, I don't care, nope. And then they're like, well, my friends let me, I don't care. And then, they go away to college and they're not 21 yet. And we can, okay, we know that's going to happen. They just call me and, we're a phone call away.
Yeah.
So not condoning it, but I'm your safety net, no questions asked, just call, we'll come pick you up, whatever. Yeah. But, you got to set boundaries, but health, you got to live by example and don't have all the unhealthy shit in the house all the time.
But don't be an extremist and don't have all the healthy. I think
you gotta have fun. I mean, kids gotta have fun.
Balance, right.
I mean, I like cookies too.
So your next hospital stay, I'll bring you some cookies.
Yeah, I like cookies.
When that was going on, I texted you. I was like, hey, it's funny how this culture is though, because I was like, okay, let me bring him some I was like, let me bring some king cake to him, and then you're over there like, I can't eat anything. Yeah. I'm like, well, there goes. Well, do I bring him flowers? Like, he's not dying, so I can't do that. Just call me if you need me.
I wasn't dying, but I was scared. I was.
Yeah, I think that's another
it really
episode.
Was, man. Cancer's traumatic. It really there was just this thick, Christine and I weren't talking about it to other people. Like we didn't kind of just a couple of people knew, like, oh shit. And then when they said, hey, look, there's nothing there, it's not cancer, we were both like, woo.
Well, I mean, when you text me, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. That
was scary.
I did have to talk to my therapist about it because I was like, well, hold up. Well, and I'll be honest with you, during that time, I'm a lot of cancers coming up right now in other people that are talking to me. And I don't know if I'm just surrounded by it. It's a thing that people are going through, and I mean, let me ask you this, because we're talking about childhood obesity. We're talking about being unhealthy. And I haven't done the research or know the numbers, but I know they don't know what causes cancer, but unhealthy cancer, is there a correlation? Do you think?
There's high levels of cancer in our area in Louisiana, and there's a lot of chemical plants along the river and, sediment dumping into the river and traveling. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think some of it's environmental, I think some of it's hereditary.
Yeah. Do you think it's anything with the food that we're eating?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just, I think cancer can affect anything and anywhere in the body. So it's really I don't believe that they want us to have cancer.
Yeah, no.
I don't believe there's a cure and they're just not giving it to us. Yeah. I don't believe that. But I think it's so hard to pinpoint what the cure is because it can be anywhere.
Right.
From your head to your toe.
And it could be caused by anything.
Yeah.
I don't think they know that in order to get the cure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole, oh my God. That's a whole
yeah. So I don't think it's they're conspiring to. I don't think that.
Yeah.
That's a huge conspiracy.
Yeah.
How many people would have to keep that secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know about all
Man,
that.
conspiracies are just crazy because our imaginations run
You run
so
wild with it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not one to really believe in conspiracy theories because I don't think, especially nowadays, like you can't keep a secret.
No, nobody can.
There's 3 of us in this room, and I guarantee you, one of us is going to talk when we walk out of here. If we
that Brian?
If we said, don't say anything, depending on what it is.
Who's it going to be?
You.
You know me well.
I would tell Christina, and then she would tell her. Then she would tell her sister, and then
I tell Brian.
Then and Angela would tell Joey, and then
and then it's all of a sudden
he's at the hunting camp, and then it's like holy shit, Paul's not dead. Paul McCartney. It's really Paul McCartney.
I'm so confused.
Just conspiracy theories.
That Paul's dead. That he's not dead.
1966 conspiracy theory. Tupac. I don't even know what that is.
That's your Paul. Okay. All right. We just announced to everybody our generational gap in those 2 things.
Yeah.
Because Tupac ain't dead either. He's still living.
Yeah.
Right? But Brian knows
he and Jim Morrison hanging out on the beach in France. You know who Jim Morrison is, but you don't know.
That was the head coach of the football team, right? No?
Yes. Yes. Light my fire, Brian, please.
I feel like you're making fun of me.
I am.
Okay, good.
Anyway. Yeah, but I'm not one to believe in conspiracy theories.
Okay, back
but
to that,
I think the pharmaceutical industry drives an unhealthy standard of living, especially in this country. Like the number of people the amount of pharmaceuticals prescribed in the United States is exponentially higher than it is in like Europe. And like, why are they living so much longer than us? Why are they? Oh shit, maybe they're not on all these,
But these pharmaceutical reps are living the dream.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah. Anyway.
So boundaries with kids.
Yeah, you gotta set the example, but you gotta have some boundaries and gotta do some outside moving around.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it in the cold.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh man.
It's
40 degrees here and I'm like
75-hour kind of finish.
40 degrees here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm all bundled up to go for a run and it's like only 40 degrees.
Yeah. But they adapt to that.
Whining and crying.
Like they would never be able to live through our summer.
Yeah.
Like, it's too hot. It's too hot,
The other morning I went swimming. It was like 48 degrees. It's an outdoor pool, but the pool's regulated. So the pool was like 82 degrees is what the little sign said. But I don't know if that was actual.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, if you just get in. Get in the water. My head was cold the whole time. Like every time my head would come out of the water, I'm like, ooh, that's cold. But I did it.
Proud of you. I know that swimming is a big thing for you.
Yeah.
That's a mental game right there. You have
it's a mental game.
You have a 5-second. This is my soapbox I'm on right now. You have a 5-second window that you can talk yourself into something or you can talk yourself out of something,
Really? Just 5 seconds? Sometimes it takes me longer than that.
Yeah, but
I'm a slow learner.
Yeah, clearly. But you're talking yourself out of it if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
So it takes you gotta you just keep coming back to the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's 5 seconds.
It's 5 seconds, Phil. Put the damn running shoes on.
Put it on, go.
Yeah.
And sometimes don't even think about it. Just do it. Just go out and do it.
Yep.
So do you want to open this conversation up? If anybody has anything that they want to tell us, they can email us at Phil and Jennifer. Make it count.
Make it count at Phil and Jennifer.
Okay, it's in the show notes, Brian. Yeah. We'll put it there.
Yeah.
Or
hit us up.
Hit us up on our YouTube channel because this will be live on our YouTube channel.
Oh, will it?
And you can go comment below.
Yeah. Yeah, drop the comment. Drop a comment. I'm going to post it. I always, share it or whatever. And post a linky or whatever. A linky in the bio-y.
Let us know what I'm interested to hear what other people's. I'm not saying we're the right ones. We're just opening up the conversation.
I'm not saying I'm wrong.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right. Till next week.
See you later.